Hello, this is the program for the Jeremy Kyle Show, and I'd just like to warn everybody before they watch this that this is going to have my opinion only. Okay. Alright guys, I hadn't done a video in a long time. Obviously I've just moved, so obviously that's probably why. But the reason why I'm actually doing this video is the simple reason being, as some of you may know or may not know, I was actually on the Jeremy Kyle Show, and obviously today it's been announced that it's been axed permanently and it's not going to be shown on telly anymore. And there are a lot of things flying around in the media right now about how the guests are treated, how they are portrayed, and you know, whether guests are, you know, properly looked after and before the show. So what I'm actually going to do right now is go through basically what happened when I was there, and briefly basically just go on what happens and what you actually have to do to actually get on the show and be able to go on the show. So obviously I got a phone call asking me to go on the show. I will put the link to my show, the parts of the show on YouTube, at the end of this video, so if you want to watch that, you're more than welcome. Anyway, I got a phone call. They wanted me to go on the show to confront this guy about money that had been stolen. And the first thing they did was we had a good 15-20 minute on the phone discussion, me and this person from the show, to determine whether I was mentally, physically and emotionally able to go on the show. And they decided that I was, which obviously I fully was. They asked me some medical questions, the basics, you know, do I have any heart conditions, do I have any problems with breathing, blood pressure, do I get nervous in front of crowds, do big crowds affect me in any way? And obviously I answered all them to what I could, and they asked if I had any allergies or any sort of bad things happen, and I said not really. So they agreed to let me go on the show, but until I actually went on the show, when I actually got, went on the way there, they kept in contact with me, making sure I was still okay, making sure that, obviously, as with if you do anything, you're going to get nervous. But they kept me up to date with how everything was going, even while I was on there, after I got picked up at mine in near Birmingham, and then I was taken all the way up to Manchester. And yeah, they did a lot. They made sure I was okay, and they made sure that the guests are well cared for. It is true what they say about us being put in a hotel for the night. We have money for food while we're there, and we get free breakfast in the morning. So that's all correct. The second thing, and then when you're there, obviously, you do get to meet Jeremy, you do get to meet Graham. If you want to meet Graham, I didn't really need to see Graham, but he was there if I needed to talk to him. But I also had all the staff there as well, who would keep coming in, checking, making sure I was okay while other recordings were going on, so until it was my turn to go on. Obviously, they also took me onto the stage when there was no one there, because they had to do sound checks. So they had to make so obviously I got to see the stage, I got to see see everybody, where the people would be sitting, and that was pretty much it until I actually got onto the show, until I actually did my recording. But after the show, although it was resolved and I didn't really need that much help, there were people from the aftercare there to help me, and this lad that we had who we had the issue with, we managed to get it all sorted. And so the aftercare is there, and it is used if needed. I did not need it, but I'm assuming that for guests such as this guy, he probably did need it, and he would have been given the help. So I don't think that's in doubt. So like I said, there was no point there that I actually thought that, oh, this is terrible. Even when I didn't get the results back that I thought I was going to get, I didn't think, oh no, this is terrible. This is bad. I felt that this was good, and it was well organised, and there was no pressure on stage from the audience, from Jeremy. He was like, he had a bit of a joke with me, as you'll see if you watch my clips. And yeah, so I don't know. Obviously, his story is going to be different to mine, but from what I've seen and what I've experienced from doing the Jeremy Kyle show myself, I have no bad things to say about it. It was well done. There was nothing choreographed. Wasn't scripted or anything. Everything is as real as it is. There's no, saying, oh, this happens, that happens. There's been people saying that you are, if you're a young teenage lad, you are forced to wear like tracky bottoms and like tracky chops and stuff like that to make you look more chavvy, which is what most people think teens are now. I basically got told all I had to do was just show up in any clothing, but I was not allowed to have any labels on. So I couldn't have like trousers with Adidas or shirts with Adidas or Reebok or any label. Basically I wasn't allowed to have, but I was allowed pictures, and obviously you'll see what I wore on the show. So yeah, there was none of that, and we weren't asked at any point. I was never asked. I was never like told before I went on stage. I was never told, oh, make it, elaborate on it, make it big, make it, huge, make it a huge deal, make it like as big as possible, to over exaggerate it and stuff. I was never told to do that. I was told basically just tell it as how it is. Obviously I was told to make sure that I was passionate, which obviously I was anyway because I needed to know, but that was about it. But that was it really. And I've heard from this guy's family and girlfriend that because apparently he took a lie detector test and failed, and his girlfriend left him, and obviously he went into depression, and obviously ended up doing what he did, which, it may sound a bit heartless to say this, but at the end of the day, he knew he was going on to the Jeremy Kyle show to do a lie detector. He knew he was going to be found out, and he should have known he was going to have to deal with the consequences. And that may seem very, very harsh from what I've just said, but it's the truth at the end of the day. A lot of people are not going to like what I've just said, and you're well entitled to your opinion of that. I even encourage you to write it down in the comments below if you don't agree with what I've just said, or anything I say on this video. You can say whatever you like in the comments, so don't stop anybody making anything about my comments. So yeah, and like I said, he did what he did, and now, because of his acts of cheating on his wife and doing what he did, and then now dealing with the consequences, and now he's done what he's done, now Jeremy Kyle show has been cancelled, and I think that's wrong. That is going to affect a lot of people, not just on the show that people watch and enjoy watching. It's going to affect people who were thinking about going on the show, people who are addicts who need help. It's going to affect them. It's going to stop them getting the help that they want, need, or deserve. It's going to stop. It's going to put relationships under more stress, because couples now won't be able to go on there to get lie detector tests to see if somebody's cheated. They won't be able to get DNA to find out if their child's theirs. and it's going to affect a lot of people. Okay, maybe it's a good thing because now people won't have to know, but I always find that it's better to know rather than not to know and suspect, because you just make the other person's life and your life miserable. So it's either on that one. Now some people will point at Jeremy, and I'm going to defend Jeremy right now in saying that Jeremy Kyle is not responsible for anything that happens on his show, either before, during or after. He is there just to present it, and at the end of the day, people say that he's very harsh and he gets, attacks people verbally, and some people need that. Some people need a so-called verbal slap in the face to get them, thinking, oh, hey up, maybe I have done wrong here, maybe I have done something stupid, and the thing is, the way that Jeremy is and the way that everybody is on that show, that's what has made it such a good show and a popular show, and everybody wants to watch it because of the way that people are. Jeremy is, obviously Steve, Graham, the way that the crowd reacts, the way that some of the guests react. Everybody likes to watch it because it's such, it's different. It's, you watch talk shows, or you have in the past, and they're all like, oh, it's okay, don't worry, it's fine. And Jeremy is, yes, he can be like that, but he can also be in your face and say, if you've done something wrong, he'll tell you you've done something wrong. And he has done that with people who don't work, with people who cheat on their boyfriends, girlfriends, cheat on their families, don't see their kids. It's a big thing on that, a big thing about seeing, fathers seeing kids. So, I don't have a problem with the show. I hope that his videos or his clips stay up on YouTube. I probably think that they probably will. The program that I'm speaking of that got cancelled the other day, before the actual axing of the show, that'll never be shown, I don't think, just for the respect of the family, his family and him, for what happened. So I don't think we'll ever see that episode, so we'll never actually see what exactly happened. We can only go by what's been written in the press. Now, when it comes to his family, like I said earlier, although he, obviously my condolences go out to his family for because obviously this has happened, but he knew what he was getting into, as everybody else does who goes on that show. He knew that he had been cheating and he was going to get found out, and it happened, and then he did this, and ended up taking his life. So, like I said, my condolences go out to his family for obviously their loss, but like I said, he knew what he was getting into, and he knew that he was going to get found out. So on the flip, you can see it from both angles. You should say, well, he got his just desserts in respect that he lost his girlfriend and everything, but at the same time, you don't want to see someone lose their life or feel that bad that they feel that they have to end their life due to that. So that's the way it is. Well, just a quick short video about this today. Like I said, I know that some people who will watch this will not like what I've said. Some people might agree. Most people probably will disagree with what I've just said. But that is the way I feel, and I just feel like I should make that point, considering that I've been on the show, so I know how it works. I know how the show is run. I know how the show is made. Like I said, I'm not defending it in any way, even though it probably sounds like I have. but at the same time, I'm not going to say that it's a bad show, it's a bad idea, and that people aren't looked after. I've just looked at my phone at the news, and it's saying that the MPs and the Parliament are now kicking off about it as well, saying, oh, people are people like looked after correctly? Are they told everything before they go on? We are, basically. It's just as simple as that. I was told everything. And when my show was about to be aired, I was phoned up like about a week before it was actually going to be aired, and told that it was going to be aired on that week. And they phoned me at intervals every month or so before and after it was aired, just to make sure that it was legal to show, everything was fine, if I needed any more help, and anything else like that. So at the end of the day, the care is there, and like I said, I am sorry to hear about what happened to this guy. Obviously it's a tragedy and it shouldn't have happened, but at the same time he knew that he was going to get found out, and he had to deal with the consequences, which was his girlfriend leaving him. Apparently she has said now that she doesn't believe the lie detector, and the lie detector was a load of rubbish. And I can tell you from personal experience that the lie detector is probably the best lie detector in the country, the best team in the country, and I have no issues with any of it. Okay, I'm going to leave it right there. Please, if you like or dislike this video, please leave your like or dislike in the and write down in the comments what you think about the show being cancelled now, and your thoughts on whether it should have been axed and cancelled, permanently. Do you think they could write in what you would have done differently? And I'm going to try from now on to do more videos. There is a video I want to do soon about depression, because obviously I like suffer with that, and so does a lot of people I know. And I think it would be just a good idea to do a video about something that I think people misunderstand quite a bit. So I'm going to try and explain it the best I can. So if you want, please subscribe if you want to find out when that video is coming out. And yeah, thank you for watching. Right, just as I'm just saying thank you for watching this video. I would like to just emphasise that this is my opinion, and my opinion alone. And yeah, please, thank you for watching, and please subscribe.